Omar Maldonado here with General Inquiry and Analysis, video 17 on security and privacy and surveillance continued. So, the opening statements were pretty interesting. Something I found interesting is that I can't remember what the actual movement was or the act itself it was, but they defined two different things. They defined that security, this one instance, security was everything they were after. They were all the U.S. and everybody was gung ho for security, as in, okay, these people, we need to up our security so that make sure that no terrorist attacks happen, that nothing crazy happens again. But when it comes to privacy, people get a little bit more touchy. They're a little bit more sensitive to that, and anything they feel is invasive of that, they become upset with, which is what Snowden did when he sold that information. So the two different arguments that were brought up are, I guess the core of it was, and the opening statement was, promises were meant to be broken and oaths are meant to be kept. So right there they made it very apparent what the difference was, that a promise is something that, yeah, it can be broken, but an oath, it needs to be taken more seriously, and Snowden had taken an oath. So in defense of Snowden, what they said was that he did it in order to show the American public, the public, that they didn't know everything, that things were going on behind their back that they should know about. They talked a lot about almost hidden agendas, where we were lied to publicly in meetings, where people would say, no, we are not surveilling or taking surveillance or taking phone data or whatever on people, when both parties knew at that time that that was happening. Then there were other courts, when they say that the courts needed to go, they went through the court system and all that. There were courts that only answered to the Congress, that met secretly and had their debates and came to their conclusions and then reported that directly to Congress. So in the end, we never really saw anything. But Snowden, he saw that, he didn't agree with it, so he decided he wanted to go out and show everybody that exactly what was going on behind closed doors. And it caused a ripple effect. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Our government did not. Then, on the other hand, they talked about his oath, how he had pledged to protect this country from foreign and domestic, attacks. I forget what the wording was. But he didn't do that, according to the government. That he went behind their back and he caused a lot of trouble. They gave 5 examples in which of what actually happened since he released the information. I found it interesting that they went straight to the point of who he helped by sending out this information, such as Al-Qaeda, some other terrorist groups in the Middle East, one in China. And they went directly to that point, demonstrating that he didn't really help, but he actually harmed people. They went on to explain how software that they'd used to help agents know if they were being followed had been broken, ways to evade and counter cyber attacks was destroyed, information was being let out. They went into specifics of how he not only, it wasn't just a breach of information where he let people know, but how he actually put others in harm's way because of his decisions. In my way of thinking, I see it 50-50. I see that he could have maybe chosen his what he released a little bit better, instead of directly attacking and saying, here's everything, and giving it to other people. I think he could have chosen that a little more carefully, but at the same time, I also feel like he did make a promise, he did make a pledge in which he would protect that. He might mistook it, or not mistook it, but he might have interpreted it differently so as to do something else with it. But overall, I see that it has both its pros and cons. So I guess if I was on that show, I'd probably still be undecided. That's all I have.